Sonic Generations celebrates Sonic's 20th anniversary since the original Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis. And while modern Sonic games have ranged from the abysmal all the way up to the decent mark, there really hasn't been a solid, great Sonic game in a long while, and Sega clearly was looking to change it up with this title, giving us a brand new modern game while taking us on a nostalgia train to our childhood in the process. But the big question is, did they give us the Sonic game we've all been waiting for? For the story of Sonic Generations, it's certainly the simple plot that we've come to expect. Sonic and his friends are celebrating Sonic's birthday when a monster appears, taking Sonic and the rest of his pals through various time holes. Along the way, Sonic encounters his younger self, Classic Sonic, and together they roam through different adaptations of levels we've all come to know and love from the previous games of the franchise, to restore the areas as well as their friends who are frozen in time. All this to find out who's behind this devious plan. Spoiler alert, it's Robotnik. The gameplay comes at you at two flavors in Sonic Generations, one being Classic Sonic and one being modern. With Classic Sonic, you'll traverse through 2D reimaginings of classic Sonic stages, side-scrolling your way through levels of varying lengths with these older Genesis-style controls that we all remember. You get a jump, a spin dash, and that's it. And while that sounds like it might be a bit limiting, it's not. It's exactly what you need, and it's all that you need. And the level design really helps get the creative wheels turning, figuring out how to explore all the branching paths a stage has to offer with the abilities that you have. The classic style plays almost perfectly, with only small physics issues every now and again, but otherwise it's exactly what you'd want in a new side-scrolling Sonic. The second variation of gameplay comes from modern Sonic. Here, you've got the more modern control style, with 3D levels sometimes switching to 2D. While giving the modern Sonic experience that many of the games failed at delivering. Controls are a bit loose at times, but it's nothing you can't get used to after a while. Using Sonic's boost, sliding, homing attack, and faster speed, the two different Sonics give you two different playstyles of the same levels in one game, bringing a middle ground for old school and modern Sonic levels as a place to finally agree upon. But there's more to it than just the levels. Along the way, you'll have to fight against rivals from older Sonic games like Metal Sonic, Shadow, and even old boss fights from previous games. To assist you during the fights, there's an ability shop run by Omochao, this game's hint giver like Tikal in Sonic Adventure 1. You can buy permanent abilities, ranging from speed boosts to the ability to not have your speed hindered by water. You can use a vastly changing combination of these abilities to try and get faster times or even help you get past parts of levels if you're having trouble in a certain spot. But some abilities don't unlock right away. For some, you need to collect red rings scattered around different branching paths on levels. 5 per level, and you'll also have to complete some of the 100 side missions to do in the game. Each Sonic gets its own missions, 50 each, and upon completion unlocks gallery photos, music tracks, and abilities to be bought in Omochao's shop. The missions range from a simple beat the doppelganger in a race type, to having Sonic's friends use their specific abilities to assist him through a modified stage. Most are pretty fun, and there's really only one mission that I found to be absolutely horrible. It got a little boring when trying to do them all at once, so spacing them out as you complete a few levels would likely be your best bet. But as I said before, abilities aren't the only thing that you can unlock. As you unlock songs, you can listen to them in the room on the very far left of the map, the gallery room. Or you can actually change the music for a stage entirely. You can put the classic Green Hill music on the first stage, you can have Live and Learn blare as you scream down City Escape, or you can have Sonic Freerider's theme blaring while you punch yourself in the face for you masochists out there. There's 50 songs that you can unlock from Sonic games from the Genesis all the way up to Sonic Colors, even songs from Shadow the Hedgehog. Pick your favorites, and if you get tired of hearing the same songs on stages over and over again, you can switch them up as you see fit. For gameplay time, if you run straight through the levels and do the minimum amount of required missions, you can actually beat Sonic Generations in about 2 or 3 hours. But Sonic games are meant to be played over and over. Go for the best times, explore different paths to find the fastest one, or even just find the path that's the most fun to play. You can do all of the missions, strive for those S ranks, and if you want to unlock everything, that'll push you upwards into the 8 or 10 hour mark. There's a lot of content here, they just don't make a lot of it mandatory, leaving you free to do mostly whatever you want. Overall, Sonic Generations makes up for just about every bad Sonic game ever released, which coming from Sonic 06's horrible coding is pretty hard to do. However, my old feeling that Sonic Team actually hates Sonic is starting to fade away, as this game is phenomenal. Both Sonics play exactly as one would expect a 3D and 2D Sonic to play. There's very little issues with the controls, and aside from minor complaints, this game's basically a perfect Sonic game. And if Sega continues to support the game with DLC stages, I could see this being a huge title for them. So for the home console version of Sonic Generations, I give it a 9 out of 10. If you have ever been a fan of Sonic, or maybe even not, and just want to see what all the hype's about, this is a great game to pick up. For the classic Sonic fans, you'll have those nostalgia moments flooding into your brain. And for new players, it might just lead you to be trying out the older titles. Just stay away from Sonic 06. Please.